The tourist injured in a Boxing Day robbery along the Queen's Park Savannah has been discharged from the Port of Spain General Hospital. The Ministry of Tourism, in a media release, said 72-year-old Sally Wilson successfully underwent surgery at the General Hospital. Her husband, Michael Wilson, was accommodated at a hotel in Port of Spain. Arrangements are being made for their return to the United Kingdom. The couple was walking along the Queen's Park Savannah when a man armed with a knife stole Mrs. Wilson's handbag. She was wounded on the left arm and was taken to hospital by a taxi driver. Michael Wilson was unhurt and assisted the police with their investigation. Ministry officials and the British High Commission in Port of Spain visited Mrs. Wilson at hospital and have been providing the required assistance. The Wilsons were among thousands of cruise passengers who arrived on the MSC Preziosa on Boxing Day. Well, the incident has raised questions about the safety of tourists visiting this country. Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell tells TTT News this type of violence against visitors is not the norm. As he reaffirms, the ministry has existing advisories to limit such unfortunate occurrences. He spoke to reporter Janine Browne about Wednesday's incident.
An elderly British couple's vacation to Trinidad and Tobago struck a bitter chord when a sightseeing outing in Port of Spain ended in them being victims of robbery and one of them being taken to hospital. 72-year-old Sally Wilson and her 74-year-old husband Michael were among several tourists who arrived on a cruise ship on Boxing Day. Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell expressed sympathy for the couple, but sought to allay concerns over tourists being regular targets for criminal elements.
I mean, while we do sympathize with the UK nationals, and we are concerned of that type of violent crime and the impact it would have on the brand of the tourist, the destination Trinidad, but this incident was the first one in about 3 to 4 years.
The couple was sightseeing around the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain when a man armed with a knife relieved them of a bag containing a cell phone and 2 credit cards. Minister Mitchell said he intends to maintain communication with the police service so that incidents such as these do not become the norm.
But of course, we will continue to speak to the police, speak to the Commissioner of Police to ensure that we put, the best security arrangements in place for the tourists.
Meanwhile, security expert Paul NAHOUS said he agrees that one incident should not be allowed to ruin totally the Trinidad and Tobago brand. But he suggested a more hands-on approach by city police to help limit tourists being targets.
Example personally is that I was in New York and there was an officer on foot patrol. I asked him for directions to somewhere. The officer refused to leave me alone. He walked about 3-4 blocks with me to make sure, because it's on his route, to make sure I got to where I had to go safely, and I stayed out of any areas that the police thought were unsafe, and so because I'm a foreigner. The city police or a unit of the TTPS or whoever it is, and to me, in my opinion, they're following the city police. They're given additional customer service training, and I put look out for the tourists.
The peak season for tourist arrivals in Trinidad and Tobago runs from December to April. Janine Browne, TTT News.
Meanwhile, the police service says it is actively investigating the attack on the British tourists. The TTPS says, according to data from the Port of Spain division, about 20,000 tourists have visited the capital city for the year thus far. And this is the first such report of an attack on a tourist. Police Commissioner Gary Griffith says members of the TTPS will continue to engage in regular patrols and sustain a heightened presence to ensure the safety and security of all persons.